What puts a Victory motorcycle head and shoulders above a Harley Davidson? Mike Schultz of Arizona Victory explains.
Hey Roger, just to show you a few differences on the Victory versus the Harley that you've been looking at.
All right.
I'll just start with some of the basics. If you look here, you'll see the chain drive system between the motor and the transmission of a Harley Davidson motorcycle. What you're seeing here is a gear drive system on the Victory. And just so you know that most of your motorcycles, even our competition, Honda, Kawasaki, etc., run a gear drive system.
Okay.
Harley is one of the few, except for the customs, that actually run a chain drive system. And just for your knowledge, the 1939 Nash, yes, 39 Nash, is the last car to come off an assembly line with a chain drive system.
Wow.
It's the last car made with a chain drive system. Harley continues to run this technology today. This is your tensioning shoe. They've actually gone to a hydraulic tension shoe, but it's still a plastic shoe that creates all the tension on these Harleys.
Got it.
So you were mentioning to me the other day, you felt, what's that clunk I hear when my buddy's Harley when he shifts into gear? What you're actually hearing, it's not in the transmission that you're probably hearing the clunk. It could well be, but I doubt it. What it is this chain slack is now becoming tight. So it snaps together, that's the clunk you hear. That's what continually wears out the cogs on these sprockets, etc., is that slack in the chain. If they're not properly tensioned, that's when you create other issues in the motor. Another thing I'd like to point out for you, you see this wire right here?
Yes, sir.
This is your stator wire. This is the heart of the charging system connection for this motorcycle. What you have here, behind this, what we call basically a flywheel, the electronic stator is behind there.
Yep.
It feeds to this wire, plugs into the bike. So what Harley has done in their infinite wisdom has buried that in one of the hottest areas of the motorcycle. It's up against the crankcase. If you notice, you don't see a stator wire sticking out of the Victory.
No, I don't.
But do you notice this right here?
Yes, sir.
This is actually 180 degrees from what you're witnessing on the Harley motorcycle. And to show you how that changes, see where our stator wire is? Our stator is outboard. It's away from the motor as far as possibly can be physically. It's in the wind. It stays nice and cool. Hence, guess who doesn't have stator failures?
I'm going to go with Victory.
Okay. Now I know that you run computers. Are you familiar with keeping all your electronic stuff in a cool area?
I am.
Think about this, buried in the heat. Think about this being out in the coolest part of the motorcycle, and you wonder why our technology lasts. Very simple. This is something, if Harley didn't want to keep milking their customers out of service money, this is something they could do relatively easy and relatively inexpensively engineering-wise. They have yet to do it 109 years later. Another point here, you see the shaft right here. This is coming off a jack shaft.
Yep.
This is the starter motor on a Harley. You have the starter solenoid, you have the starter motor feeding into a jack shaft. When you hit the starter button on the Harley you were looking at, this slides out, engages, and starts over. Now I'm sure you've had it happen before on a car or anything like that. Hit the starter button, car starts, you accidentally hit it again, what do you hear? A massive grinding.
Yep.
That's this jack shaft re-engaging with the gear set here on the clutch. What happens? It grinds like crazy. On a Victory, the starter is up front. It is constantly engaged through a gear system here on a one-way bearing. That starter stays engaged all the time. Matter of fact, in one of the demonstrations I do is I start a Victory, I then reach over, hit the starter button, and show them that they do not get the same engagement or the same gear clashing. Hence, this starter is what fits on a Victory. This not only fits the Victory of today, of 2011, it also fits the same Victory of 1999. We're using the same starter component. Do you know why?
Reliability.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Another area, as they were mentioning, you brought up the cam chain issue, and your response was, I'm thinking about if I go with a Harley, I need to go to gear drive. Well, the reason they look at the gear drive is very simple. You have a cam door in your twin cam Harley. The cam chain is tensioned by these little tensioners, okay? These little tensioners here, which these are spring-loaded, but today's Harley has gone to a hydraulic tensioner. But here's the difference. This little device is what's keeping that motor from imploding. So what you hear everybody saying is, yes, the reason they want to go to gear drives is they want to eliminate these little tiny shoes, because when they wear out, it's kaboom, the motor launches. At about 20,000 miles, you should be inspecting these or replacing them on your Harleys. They don't tell you that because they don't want to let you know that you're going to have motor issues in just 20,000 miles.